Hey, hello everybody. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be weekend update number 6. I'm going to start out by thanking all the new subscribers and also thanking everybody who comments on the channel. Really appreciate that. Even the negative comments, they're helpful, as long as they're constructive. We appreciate all of it. We're still getting a lot of rain here. We're ready for spring. It's just getting a little annoying. So we just got one project for this week. We've been doing some cleanup around the shop, and we took care of a safety issue while we were doing our cleaning and organizing. We did get a chance to test out how the new way covers are working. We hit them with some hot chips, some oil, and so far no problem. Everything just, the oil's staining them. That's no big deal, but nothing's embedding, getting stuck, that kind of thing. So we're happy so far with the way those are working. And once again, thanks everybody for stopping by and take a look at our little project here. Alrighty, thanks. Alright, we're going to start a new project. We've got a safety issue, and this has been bothering me for quite a while. So on the side of the mill here, we've got this little table. I just got the bolt just barely in there right now. But anyways, the rotary table normally sits on here. And it's real convenient because you can just, match it right up to the mill table, slide it right over. Great. And you can see I put this tape on here. This table is chrome plated and very, very slippery. And I was going to try to rig up some kind of bungee cords or straps or something, to secure the rotary table. But that's cumbersome. And I can't put a pin in the center because that's where our bolt is. So I think what I'm going to do is put a pin just off center a little bit. And that will go right through the hole in the rotary table. And that way we don't have the safety issue with bumping this thing and having it slide off and land on your foot or somebody else or whatever. So since we had the rotary table off when we were working on the way covers, it's the perfect time to do this. So let me show you what this plate looks like. And then we'll come around the other side here. So I don't know what this came off of. It came with the mill when I got it. It looks like it was a base for something. And it's chrome plated. Looks like fly cut on this side, maybe Blanchard ground. Looks more like fly cut with these feet welded on. And like I said, it's chrome plated. It's very hard chrome. So what I'll have to do is I'm just going to do a little spot grinding with the die grinder. I don't want to mess up a carbide end mill in case it's too hard, so that we can get into the steel underneath. It's just mild steel plate underneath. I already checked. I ran a file in here and it digs in no problem. The other thing I don't like, by the way, see these washers on here? Let me bring you guys around here just a little closer here. So this is a pretty neat arm, and it came with the mill. One thing I did is I made a better spacer block that goes in there. So it's just a couple of pillow block bearings with the, looks like an 1 1/8" shaft and a piece of angle iron welded onto a little hub here. And I added these washers so that when you're turning the table, you have less friction than if it was just sitting flat on the angle iron. The other thing I don't like is because of these feet that were on here, it limits how far you can swing the table. So I think I'm going to take off 2 of the feet So that way this will articulate all the way back here for storage and all the way up here to make it easier to slide onto the mill table. So we'll do that at the same time. I'm not sure how difficult that's going to be because we got to get through this hard chrome. I might just take the angle grinder, knock the chrome off, and see if I can. I don't want to mess up this nice chrome finish, but maybe I can, just grind a little line here on each of them, just so when we come in, and this side also, so when we come in with the end mill, we don't have to go through that hard material. The other thing I might do, I'm not sure if we'll do it in this project or not, is make some kind of a friction brake. I've got a couple extra holes here in the column, and it would be nice to have a friction mechanism so this doesn't swing so easy. So we may think about doing that as well. Okay, let's continue on. We're gonna try out our anchor lube. Might be a little too much, but okay, let's see what happens. All right, we're gonna run at 325 here. Looks to me like we're getting better results with the traditional cutting oil, at least for this type of a cut. So, all right, we're going to keep going. I'll bring you guys back when we get down to the bottom here. Looks like we had a little bit of chip cutting or maybe a little deflection, but for what we're making, this will be just fine. Okay, I'm going to do the other side off camera, and this is not the sharpest end mill. I didn't want to mess up a good end mill if we still have some of that chrome left on there. We got our hole laid out. I'm going to drill and tap that 3/8/16. All right, we've got it all cleaned up. I don't know what this plate is made out of. There was rust on the bottom, so I don't think it's stainless. But I mean, these chips are really shiny, and they're strong. So I think it's some kind of alloy steel. I mean, it could be stainless, I guess. Low grade, ferritic stainless. But it's pretty tough. Our thread is good. Anchor lube did its job. All right, let me go put this on. Let's see how she looks. So we got this hole laid out, so it's just past our spacing washer there. So if we have a little extra thread stick out, we'll have a little clearance there. Okay. Okay, lock nut. So the angle iron's threaded, and then we just have a lock nut goes on the back, so we can get just the right amount of tension on it. There we go. I like that. Okay, now if I can get this thing up here without throwing my back out. We don't have our pin made yet, but I'm just going to eyeball about where it'll be. Right there. Okay. So our table will articulate all the way back to there. Definitely think I'm going to make a break for the main pivot. It's just it just goes too free. You guys are probably getting tunnel vision there. All right, I got to make a pin. Okay, we're going to put a little bluing on here to hopefully hide that rust pitting. This is a perfect project to use up this old piece of round stock on. I did warm this up a little bit, so it's reacting much faster. Not the prettiest finish, but for the the purpose it's going to be used for, be just fine. I think I'm due for some new Oxfo blue. This bottle's pretty old, and as you can see, I'm not being careful to prevent contamination. You know, you should put it in a separate container and not go back into that container, or the original container, I mean. All right, I'm gonna let that set on there for a few minutes. Then we'll wipe it down, give it a little oil, and she's done. All right, there we go. We got it wiped down, oiled down. So there's a good example of when you're going to blue something, whatever surface prep you do and finish you produce before you do the bluing operation, that's what you get. So here's our other side with the rust pits. Yeah, so if you want a nice polished finish on your part, you got to do that before you do the bluing. But for this thing, this is perfect. I mean, it's just a safety bolt. No one's going to see it. More for corrosion protection and just something to do. All right, we're going to go put it in, and this thing is done. Probably wouldn't matter, but I did a square cut across here instead of a normal, side cut, radius cut when making the flats. My thought was I didn't want this wrench to get stuck on there. I wanted a little surface for it to rest on. Probably would have worked fine either way. It's just, that was my preference.